in Rwanda, you know, our history, we experienced a tragedy in 1994, had a genocide, claimed more than 1 million of our people, destroyed property, infrastructure, and actually destroyed the whole social fabric in our society. This social, or anything to do with the society was destroyed. In 2000, we came up with a vision 2020, which was an inspiration of Rwandans to become a middle-income country. And this Vision 2020 was targeting at modernizing agriculture, infrastructure development, poverty reduction, and eliminate extreme poverty and have all conditions of a middle-income country in terms of incomes, in terms of all other human development indicators. So that's how our Vision 2020 is structured. How it relates with the Millennium Development Village. You know, the Millennium Development Goals mainly aim at eliminating or supporting communities to develop and get basic necessities in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of environmental conditions, in terms of eliminating hunger and the like. So the Millennium, this relates very well with our Vision 2020, because our Vision 2020 targets and goals are almost the same as the ones of MDGs. So the village, the Millennium Village project we have here in Rwanda, that serves us very well in Mayanje. Mayanje communities, in the last 8-9 years, you know, after genocide, this is an area which was deeply affected by genocide. Most of the people there were killed. We had orphans, widows, and others just as a traumatized society with extreme poverty. So the project started there. Infrastructure has been built, water, electricity, agriculture. We have modern methods of farming taught the farmers. Cooperatives are formed. They are now involved in business activities, health services, and the like. So even the attitude of the people and the commitment you've seen them and the ownership, this has given a good confidence for us that these communities are going to have a sustainable development. You know, here in Rwanda, we have a similar program, which is almost the same as the concept of Millennium Village. We have what we call Vision 2020 Mlenje, where we concentrate resources in a specific area where we see communities in extreme poverty. So in this project, we have 3 components. One component is what we call direct cash transfers. Because, you know, in the composition of our society, because of our history, we have people who are elderly and helpless, don't have children, don't have other people to help them. We have child-headed families, and other cases where you find that they badly need these cash transfers to help them, you know, be able to buy for themselves some basic needs. So we have, this component has cash transfers. We have public works that give so many people employment, and then credit schemes that enable people to graduate from poverty and be able to sustain themselves. We've now scaled up to more than 50% of the country where people are benefiting from this program. So these concepts the concept in the Millennium Village, which we have in these other programs, have helped us to expedite the process of poverty reduction. For example, in the last 5 years, we were able to have more than 1 million people out of poverty, which is more than 10% of our population. So that was as a result of a combination of different development programs we have in place, and these other targeted programs like it is with the Mayanje project. We have a vision, and we develop every 5 years implementation strategies. And for example, this coming 5 years, we have a development strategy. We call it EDPRS. In this strategy, we are trying to look at how we support communities and support private sector to develop and be the engine of our development, the private sector. And in Mayanje, we see SMEs coming up. We see them fitting into a broader vision of private sector development. We also see communities owning up through participation, through defining their priorities and working towards attaining these priorities. And we see this is our vision, this is our strategy to make sure that there is total ownership of our development processes, and we see Mayanje this happening. Again, we see education, health as being very important in as far as human development within our country. And we see Mayanje this happening in terms of education, in terms of health, and this form a broader approach in our human development programs in our country. So broadly, I would say Mayanje approach fits very well within our development strategy.